Oh gosh.
All right, now y'all. All right. Hey y'all. Hey. We ain't seen y'all in a while.
How long has it been, friend?
It's been a while, y'all.
It was a minute.
It's been a little minute.
It's been a minute.
But, you know, life been life, honey.
A whole lot of life.
Yeah,
It's
things been
lifing.
happening. But we glad to be back.
Mhm.
Glad to see y'all. We
Mhm.
back up in the house. We got a good topic for y'all today. Okay, we're gonna get into it, right?
We're gonna get into it. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So once again, I'm your girl, Mika Ma'a. This is
Tasha Griffin,
nurse practitioner.
nurse practitioner. Yes.
I'm on my way. Y'all know that. I'm in school. I'm a high school.
Sis.
Y'all know this. Okay,
Yeah.
we ain't gotta go over it again. Y'all know I'm high.
Mhm.
I'm on my way.
She needs to hurry up.
I'm working on it.
Mhm.
So today, what's our little
Okay,
topic today?
tonight we're going to be talking about the shift within. Now, you know, menopause, the topic itself has been a hot topic lately. There's so many aspects to menopause that we can dive in, right? But tonight we're going to be talking about hormones, emotions, and the medical science, the neuroscience behind it. Okay.
How all of that works together.
And how it all works together. So yes, that's the topic for today in regards to menopause.
Okay.
Okay.
So my ladies on the chat, honey, you know, chime in with your menopause symptoms because we're about to get into it. A lot of people been having a lot of, you know, emotions. You know, menopause brings that. It brings the emotions. It brings the physical changes, and we're gonna go ahead and get into these mood swings, this irritability, the anxiety. My biggest thing, I'm not gonna lie, is the brain fog. I'd be like, what was it? Be simple words. I'd be like, how you spell that? If I literally told y'all one word that I about had a conniption fit with the other day, girl, any. I was like, how do you know?
Can you spell any?
How do you spell any? I'm like, N-E. What the hell is an any anyway? What is an any? When I'm telling you, it could. Now I'm over here spelling anything, biggest words ever,
Right.
but can't
spell any.
Can't spell any. I'm like any. It's like N-E. But any? What is an any? How do you spell any? Try about drove me to drink. When I'm telling you the brain fog, it could literally be something so minute that you know, but you cannot bring it to the front of your mind. The fog's so thick. Am I right or wrong?
You're absolutely correct. And the biggest shift now is the fact that the Kennedy, one of the Kennedys, the man who can't talk.
You talking about
Robert Kennedy, who's over that department, has gotten the president approval in taking the black box warning.
And that's why I like him. I don't say everything, but I do. Because he had made some positive changes. He has. But I'm glad about the black box warning.
Yes, so he has taken the black box warning off of some of the estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone hormones. So the ones that still have the black box warning, say that 5 times. Girl. Black box warning is the estrogen that is systemic. So the pills,
right,
that still have that warning on there, but the creams and stuff like that, the label has been taken off, so that now it's no longer, not to say a taboo thing, but you can go to your primary and your primary can prescribe it for you, outside of going to like an OBGYN or functional medicine or wellness center like myself, to get the estrogen treatment.
Which has been one of the reasons why us as women have been you know, basically left out in the cold when it comes to some of our health because of this black box warning. your regular physicians, your obstetricians, things like that, they have not, your
Got on board.
gynecologists, they have not wanted to order any of these medications. But when you go back and you look at the research, literally, if you just go across the pond, honey, I mean, to say it frankly, these white women across the water, honey, they've been living
The life.
they've been living their life during menopause.
Yeah.
While over here in America, we've been literally suffering. We literally been suffering through it. So it's so much research across the pond of that these things are fine, and that's why I'm glad he got the black box warning off, because people have been fine. Literally, they've been fine.
Yeah,
So,
they based it off the research that was done 20 years ago.
yep.
That
Mhm.
stated that the women who did estrogen treatment was what they were getting breast cancer when they were predisposed genetically. It was something that
Mhm.
already predisposed the women who was part of the study to get breast cancer, and so
Mhm.
because of that, it kind of freaked everybody out,
Right.
and even freaked us providers out, physicians and mid levels
Mhm.
alike, that we were told to, put an X on hormone treatments when it comes to women. Let us bear it, because better to have a life than to have breast cancer. And so that was what we were being told when we were being trained.
Right.
So but now
Mhm.
we can treat as long as you know how to.
Mhm.
Okay.
And that is the thing too, because some physicians may still not, because they haven't been doing it thus far, and so they're still a little nervous about kind of jumping into that, because it's something they're unfamiliar with, which is fine, honey. Don't even pressure your physician. Go to somebody who already been doing it. So if you've been dealing with functional medicine, or something but a little unorthodox, I would say continue with that, because those people have been prescribing it and following and maintaining women for years, versus somebody who just about to put their toe in the water, honey. We don't got time for you to practice on us.
Because I've heard some stories where physicians have been injecting pellets, testosterone pellets, and have put a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And that young lady was doing things in order to relieve herself because it was way too much testosterone.
What? Do tell. What was she doing, honey? What was she doing? Do tell, honey. Tell the audience.
Well, to release the urge of satisfying herself, she said she had to do it 3 times a day.
Not 3 times. Some of y'all probably over there like, oh, 3 times. I don't mind.
So she had to get them taken out, and she never had got them put back in.
And see, that's when you're dealing with somebody who is not well versed. You need somebody that's well versed in how to administer these things, number one, because there's a proper way to administer. And there's also, knowing the proper amount that you need to administer based off getting labs. Because I've heard physicians doing things, not even getting preliminary labs or anything, not even knowing where your baseline or anything is at. So that type of thing is important to make sure somebody's going about it the right way.
Correct. So yeah, so that's dope. I have testosterone pellets in my buttocks.
I'll tell you, which cheek?
I think it's my left.
Okay. Left cheek.
And I said, give me the lowest amount. Because, I heard too many horror stories. The lowest amount would still be effective.
See, I'm on board with the pellets. I didn't want to do the cream. I haven't done anything yet. I'll let y'all know when I do it. And I'll let you know how I go. But I haven't done anything yet. But my plan is to. But I didn't want to do the cream. Remember we were talking about it, and I said I wanted to do the pellets.
You want to do the pellets, yeah.
And you tried to steer me clear of the pellets.
Because I had to. I walked in my OBGYN because I had to get my PAP and testing and stuff done. And I said, I think I want the testosterone cream. We're not doing that. I said, excuse me. He said, we're not doing cream. I said, why not? I do cream in my office. I do cream. Cream is safe. Cream is safe. And he said, no, we're doing pellets. I said, well, listen, I don't care what, at this point, I don't care what it is.
Right.
All I know is whatever you want to prescribe, just give me the lowest dose. I don't want no elongated clitoris and stuff like that. I don't want none of that.
Right.
I just need enough to, soothe my symptoms.
Right.
That's all. And so far, so good.
So you might be a pellet girl now.
I might be, yeah. So he gave me the number to where I can go and get trained, because now these compound pharmacies is trying to send us providers out to get trained. And be a part of their network. But in order to do that, you have to go through their training, and then you get a percentage off for every patient that you treat.
So I need to do that training too. When we go?
So for tonight, we
Oh,
can go anytime.
yeah, I want to do that training because I've So when I told you I was in my women's health
Mhm.
clinicals, she only did pellets. So I've seen it done
Multiple times.
multiple
Like the
times.
throat cancer and stuff like
Yep.
that.
So I've seen it done. It looks very easy.
It's very easy.
Very easy.
It's very easy.
But obviously, like you said, you have to go through the training so you can be signed off saying that you're certified to do so, which is fine. But it's not anything that as nurses we haven't
Done
pretty
before.
much done before.
Right. And then
It's
with
fine.
that physician, I mean, he's a physician. Come on, so let's put that out there, right?
So it's a little
OBGYN.
different.
So their tax bracket is much higher than ours. Just
Right.
to start there. So because he buys his own equipment, his own hormones, and his own everything. So partnering up with a compound pharmacy is not such a bad idea.
Right. No, definitely not. 100%.
All right, so our key talking points for tonight is that when it comes to the menopause and the emotional and physical changes, and with the mood swings, irritability, and anxiety, the brain fog, and fatigue that you mentioned, but it also can bring about neurological change. And I think this is a piece that don't get talked about as much. Okay. And so the women, us women, and people in general, we have two main centers in the brain that helps process our life.
Right.
Okay. So we have the detail center and we have the emotional center.
This is why we can multitask. But go ahead.
Yes. We have the detail center and the emotional center. Now, why is that important? Because during this stage of our lives where our hormones are fluctuating, it's going up and down, right? You're good one minute, you're crying the next, and things of that nature. A lot of times we then like, oh my God, something is wrong with me. I can't keep it together.
Right.
What's going on? The family's looking at you like you're crazy. Your husband's like, what's your problem? And you look in the mirror and you cry because who in the heck knows, right? And so you go ahead and you seek therapy.
Hopefully you seek therapy.
For the most part, you go and you seek therapy. But then what happens with therapy? So tell me about your childhood. I'm coming up for that.
I mean, sometimes I do got to get to some of it. Might be the root of that, because the thing is, it's not always everything related to menopause. But I will say that menopause can exacerbate certain things. It can
definitely exacerbate
because of the way it. I almost want to say attack because I be feeling under attack, like how it attacks your emotional center.
Yes, it does.
And so at the end of the day, it can exacerbate a lot of things that may have already been issues that we haven't dealt with, especially as African Americans. We just haven't dealt with things. We don't even know some things that we need to deal with. So at the end of the day, things get exacerbated.
So as far as this segment is concerned, and no diss to any other ethnic background, we're going to be focusing on the African American and Latino women who have a little bit more of a struggle than others. So
100%.
Studies and research have shown that when it comes to menopausal symptoms, we suffer as African American women the most, and then Latinos come below us when it comes to specifically our mood swings and irritability and stuff like that. The symptoms, if you have a linear diagram, we all the way at the far end, we're not even in the middle. So we all the way over here. Versus other ethnic backgrounds are more on the lesser end of that spectrum. And that could be the reason why the studies didn't, that said, oh, no, don't do that. It's not, you can just grit and bear it. Maybe that's why it was okay for them to grit and bear it. And we're suffering in silence over here.
Because we're also the least likely to get treated, or the least likely to, for them to attribute those symptoms to menopause. So you got to think about it. At the end of the day, America as a whole, we've had this black box warning. We have not been treating menopause the way it needs to be treated. And then you add that on top of being African American on top of that. We in a bad way. So we're least likely to even be to associate these symptoms with menopause.
Correct. True enough. Because a lot of times, but that's what we do in general as humans.
Right.
Right. So you have a stomach ache. Oh, it must be something I ate. And you could be going through your menstrual cycle. Right. And that's why you bloated, not because you ate something.
Right.
Right. But we're so quick to want to pinpoint it to something because it helps our mental psyche feel better if we know what it is.
Right.
So a lot of times we misappropriate what the situation or problem is because we don't think about how menopause can be attributed to bloating. We only
Sure.
think of vaginal, sexual stuff, mood swings, and that's it. And hot
That wouldn't be
flashes.
something we would even know how to associate. Because when you think about it, I know for myself and maybe for a lot of women that I know, probably for you, when you even talk to your elders about menopause, they tell you just gonna go through the change. They might tell you what age they started, what type of symptoms they had, but they don't really know much about menopause. They
Mhm.
don't really know what the symptoms are, what's associated with it, these different things. So it's not like it was this information had been passed down to us.
No.
You know what I
no.
mean? It's like we starting from
Scratch.
zero. Yeah,
Yeah.
we starting from zero and we're trying to work our way up of how do we get to a point where this is not taboo to talk about. It's not taboo to be treated, you know, and that we deserve it. We deserve the treatment.
Just
And
like
that it's
everybody else.
okay.
Mhm.
It's okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's what's important at the end of the day.
And then when you add on the extra layer that we as African American women have gone through growing up, um, a lot of us had to go through survival mode. Not saying other ethnic women background don't do that, but when you look at it as a collective, if you put 10 women in African American descent, 7 out of 10 women have been abused on some level.
I think it's 9 out of 10. I ain't gonna hold you. Because every woman
Then that
I
means
know,
the other 3 ain't talking. The other 2
exactly.
ain't talking.
They ain't talking. Because every woman I know has been abused in some sort of way as a child. Every single woman I know.
I have yet to bump into a Black woman who have not.
Right. And not anything about other cultures, but I can only speak to my culture because this is the one I'm in. So I'm speaking to the one I know. And I don't want to say anything about necessarily other cultures that I'm not familiar with. So I'm gonna speak to the culture that I'm a part of.
So when it comes to the survival mode in regards to your childhood trauma, the caregiver, the financial strain, the racial pressure,
Mhm.
in addition to with marital struggles, we tend to want to shut it off in our emotional part of our brain in order for it to keep functioning.
Mhm.
So this is the reason why historically we have been forced to be more resilient,
Mhm.
more like stoic, if you will.
Mhm.
As some men would say that we're aggressive in a way.
You
We're
mean like
too-
an angry Black woman?
like an angry Black woman.
Mm.
But if you look at
When
our,
we've been carrying the world on our back?
but if
Pause.
you look at our history says that we have been the head of the household after a certain point when, I mean, even if you go back to slavery times, where they pulled the men away.
Mhm.
Because if you was a strong, stocky Black man, you had to impregnate how many women so you can have Black strong babies,
Mhm.
right?
Absolutely.
And then the women had to then take care of the kids that they had made as far as their union is concerned.
And they had to take care of other folks' kids too.
And
And put those kids above their own kids.
And then if you move forward towards the food stamp times and the welfare times, where the Black man couldn't even be in the household in order for the woman to get those benefits,
By law.
which had impregnated another time in which we had no choice but to be the head of the household.
Mhm.
Okay, so we were forced to be in the role in which we weren't born to be in.
Mhm.
And so when it comes to that time in our time,
Mhm.
because that was during our time growing
Mhm.
up as kids,
Right.
okay? So our aunts, our mothers, our cousins was like, you don't want to be like this.
Mhm.
So in order for you not to be like this, you're going to have to work hard. Your career should be your primary focus, and then everything else will come later.
But see, that's by design though. They want us to do all that so that we don't need the Black man. So now it doesn't even have anything to do with want or not. Now you in a position where you don't need the person because you've set yourself up to be able to be self-sufficient. So now it continues to keep the family broken because we were told to do these things. Now, not saying these aunts, uncles, moms, that was wrong for telling us that, because in the time, how would we be able to take care of ourselves? You know, how would we be able to take care of our kids if we didn't do these things? Because by design, the government is making sure that the family stays separate. And so, not that they're wrong for telling you that, but it still exacerbates the situation. The situation continues to be exacerbated because even now, remember there was a time where women had to get permission to own a house.
Yes.
Now we
And they
own
own
more
every house.
houses
Yes.
than men, point blank, period, hands down. We are the breadwinners. We are the homeowners. We are the business owners. We are. And so once again, the times have changed, but our mindset haven't changed.
Yeah.
So our mindset is still that, oh, the man needs to be the head of the household and he needs to this, that, and the third. But the way society is set up, it doesn't support that. So not only do we have to change our mindset that, oh, maybe not necessarily that we're the head of the household, but we might be the breadwinner and your man is not. But he also have to accept that too. Like, oh, I'm not the breadwinner and she is. And everybody has to be okay with this swap
role.
because it has been by design.
It wasn't that it wasn't by choice. It wasn't
No,
like we
it's
said
by design.
This is what we want to do.
Right.
Because I want to be soft.
I told you that the other day.
I want to be soft.
We all do.
I want to be soft.
Look,
get my nails done and my feet. You see my toes, Jesus.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness though, we were forced to be in this role, and so now where we have the internet, you got social media, and you have different people doing podcasts, and people who are not experts want to be experts, and everybody now want to have a talking point in regards to, and specifically African American culture. Okay, because even the other ethnic groups is talking about us.
Oh, you're talking about Charlie Kirk? I mean, I digress.
So in relation to that, now we're like a hot topic, and so
but we always been a hot topic.
So now you put a deeper wedge in between a man and a woman. Okay,
Absolutely.
So without the man, there's no woman in biblical times.
Girl, because you know I was about to say
no.
Because
biblical terms. Okay. That's why we say the man is the head and not the tail. Okay. Biblical. All right. Now, when it comes to that, again, that was not by choice. If you go by biblical terms, this has been, like you said, by design of other ethnic groups who want to make sure that we stay separate by all means necessary.
Absolutely.
All right. And then when you add on the childhood trauma, and then now all of a sudden you're in beast mode, you're this independent person, but you seek companionship, and you come up with find one, right? Well, this is for some women, and then all of a sudden you hit this menopause era,
and you're a whole dragon.
And so now you seek help, right?
You crazy. You want a man now.
And you see help. It was a therapy said, let me put the key in, and then we just turn this on. Now tell me about your childhood.
No, I need to be medicated.
Dope me up, put in my arm. Okay.
Listen.
And so what happens is that we forget the details, which is the detail center of our brain, but we don't forget the emotion part.
And that's the thing about women, because one thing we're gonna do is hold on to some emotion.
Right. So
like
the ability for your brain to block out catastrophic traumatic things in your life, that's a very powerful tool to have, because you can't survive if you're constantly living in that moment.
Right.
And so what your brain does is say, I'm gonna go ahead and bury this for you.
Bury it. Right. So that you can move on.
So that you can move on and survive. Right. But the emotional part is still there.
It's still there. And the thing is, you'll act off of it without consciously remembering it, but you'll still act accordingly to what the trauma is, which is crazy and magnificent at the same time. It just shows you like how amazing the brain really is, and how your body literally protects you by any means necessary. Like by any means necessary is going to protect you.
And so it's no different from getting in a car accident. It's no different from getting attacked. So your brain operates in the same manner, in the same way.
Exactly.
So when it comes to our childhood trauma, the brain does the exact same thing. It puts it all the way in the back center of your brain, and you don't think about it. But however, you act on it every day.
Every day.
Every day, your everyday decision making, how you move, how you talk, how everything. Even though you don't think about it, you may not remember the details about it, but you act on it. and you do it without even knowing it.
Exactly.
And so we stay in this survival mode until somebody, or i.e. therapist, say, hey, I need you to stop.
Or you crash and
Survivor.
burn.
Or you crash and burn.
Because some people literally get to the point where it's like you get to your brain maximum, right? You have gotten to the limit and literally you crash out. And then people are wondering, but she was just such a nice neighbor and she was just such a great friend and she was just such a this and that. And then you find out that this person then crashed out and something crazy that happened. Literally your brain center has met its match and has met the limit to the point where you just crash out.
So your emotional center is now overwhelmed.
Overloaded, yep.
And then the detail center of your brain is like, oh yeah, you did go through that.
Mm-hmm.
And you put them together.
Yeah, crash out.
You go right back to that moment in time where you had experienced those things.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have to sit in it.
Well, because the thing is, you didn't deal with it then. And possibly because you didn't even know how. You're a child. So you didn't deal with it then. You haven't dealt with it thus far. And then now you're back in a place where something so horrific or traumatic has happened to you and you still don't know how to deal with it. Because in your mind, when you go back to that moment, you're literally transported back to that age. So if it was when you were 5, if it was when you were 8, you're literally 4 and 8 and 5 in your mind again at that point in time, and still not knowing how to even scratch the surface to deal with that because you're a child.
You're thinking like a child.
You're still a child.
Still a child.
Yeah.
So the details of how that can look like is emotional spiraling. Like
mm-hmm.
You're just emotionally out of control. Like when I tell you I was emotionally out of control,
mm-hmm. It happens.
I was emotionally out of control and I didn't know what it was.
Right.
I wish someone would have told me
right.
what I was going through. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I didn't care who I was hurting, what I was saying, and who I was doing it to.
Mm-hmm.
I did not care.
Right.
And I did not know.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you had unlocked that, and then I had to go back and sit in that,
mm-hmm.
and then you want to see and tell me how you feel right now in this moment. How about I want to strangle you? Because right now, why are you taking me back there? Because if I couldn't do anything then, what makes you think I could do something about it now?
Right.
That was my primitive thinking.
Right.
Without understanding the whole reason why I had to sit in that moment.
Right.
We have the crying spells and the memory flashbacks. It's almost like you're having PTSD.
No, it is PTSD. It's literally PTSD. You cannot get around the PTSD. And it's so... like it makes you very moody. Mm-hmm. Like you have these highs and lows. To me, it's like being freaking bipolar.
Yes.
Like you in a manic phase.
Yes.
You in a manic phase, and then next thing you know, you're depressed. It's you just up and down. Like if you're going through a grieving process. It's a very strange place to be in and hard to navigate, especially when you don't have any tools for it.
Tools, and it's hard to describe.
Mm-hmm.
And so while your significant other is looking at you and saying, what in the HE hockey sticks is going on? And
you saying like, the same thing, because I don't know either.
I don't know whether I'm coming or going. I literally have said so many times, I don't know whether I'm coming or going. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
100%.
And I have said it plenty of times where this is not even me. I don't even know who I am right now.
Right.
But I couldn't put my finger on as to what was going on inside.
Right.
And then it's just emotional exhaustion. Like you're so emotionally drained because you got to put on this face and this facade when you go to work. You got to put on this face when it comes to take care of your kids, and you got to put on this face when it comes to being around your husband. But then when you're by yourself, when it's quiet,
right,
there's no noise.
Yeah,
it's dead silent.
And then when you add on top of that, going through menopause, so you already have this baseline trauma, and then you add menopause on top of that, and you got these fluctuating hormones, the declining estrogen. You got rising cortisol levels, all these different things up and down. You got stress because you got kids, or you got, depending on how old you are, you have aging parents that you might be taking care of. Some of us taking care of our significant others, husbands and stuff with their conditions. You just in this place where it feels like everything is on you, and then the hormones, here they come, and like, you don't know anything about this. Yeah, look, I'm here. And you like, I don't even know you like that.
Well, what your name is again?
Exactly. Yeah. It's a very strange place to be in. We have to consider those things. And in this day and age, I feel like we're moving forward. Just by this black box warning being taken off, we're moving forward where we can help to normalize and balance these hormones. And that's like one less thing. Now, do we still need a therapy? 100%.
100%.
100%. But
100%.
balancing these hormones will help us to easier get through things, help us to easier have a level head. Because literally it takes you out your mind. You need to have a level head in order to get through certain things. That's important.
Yeah. And so a therapist once said, the day that you start surviving is the age that you're still in today if you have not started therapy and healing yourself. You want me to say that again?
Listen, one more time for the people in the back.
The day that you start surviving,
Surviving.
not living as a child, the day that you start surviving
Mm-hmm.
is the age that you are right now in your as far as your emotional state. So
Period. I mean,
with the ball,
honey, because that was a word.
that was a word.
That was a word.
So imagine if you're 9 years old. I was 9.
Mm-hmm.
So my emotional state until I started therapy and started the healing process for myself, I was 9 in a 42-year-old body.
And when you think of like, what does a 9-year-old really know about life? 9 years old. Who can imagine? If I even think to when my kids were 9.
That just make you want to sit and cry right now.
Yeah. Because what do you know anything about life? 9 is when you're supposed to still be carefree.
Yes.
You're supposed to
no
be
worries.
protected.
Yes.
You're supposed to be playful
Mm-hmm.
and have that magnetic energy,
Mm-hmm.
that childlike feel.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in the mode of protection. Because
Yes.
now, at 9, you're thinking, okay, my parents are protecting me. But when you get in a mode where you have to survive, you're thinking, oh, I have to protect me. You don't even know how to do it, but you're doing the best you can. Like, do I run and hide? Do I not sleep in my bed at night? Do I sleep under the bed? If I cover myself with the covers, because when you little, honey, you feel like as long as you got them covers under you, can't nothing get you.
Right.
So you under the covers, you know what I'm saying? You hoping you don't hear that door open.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. Like that's heavy.
It's very
That's
heavy.
heavy.
That's very heavy. And then and not just because that's like the very traumatic end, the sexual, physical, emotional abuse. But just imagine during that time as well, your parents had to work 2 jobs, and then you at home and you're the oldest, and you
Mhm.
had to get a stepping stool in order to get on top of the stove to fry chicken
Mhm.
for your siblings.
Yep.
You had to learn how to cook at a very early age because now you have to be the head of the household while your parents are away working to make sure that financially the household is taken care of. So it doesn't even have to be that traumatic in order for those type of emotions to come
Mhm.
about to the forefront and can cause havoc when you get older.
But and that still can be traumatic
It is
because
traumatic, yes.
like when I was younger, we was latchkey kids.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Y'all know what latchkey kids are. So
Mhm.
we, had keys to the house. We had to go home and be by ourselves
Mhm.
because when you got home, your parents wasn't there.
Mhm.
So I would have to go home. I'm the oldest,
Mhm.
so I'm the one who have to make sure we get our homework started.
Mhm.
I'm the one who got to make sure dinner gets started.
Mhm.
Like, so you're in charge. I was in charge until my parents got home. But that could also be traumatic because I feel like my relationship with my brothers suffered because of that. And the reason why I say that is because it's not like a sister-brother relationship. It was more like I was their other mom.
Mhm.
And there was times where like stuff would happen at the school, and listen, I'll be with my mom and I'm like over talking her. Like, who are you talking to? What you mean about my brother? What? And my mom is like, excuse me, let me handle this. And I'm like, oh, because you weren't saying enough because I'm about to get in somebody's face about my little brother. Like, don't try me. Yeah. So I was like the other mother versus just being like their sister, like a confidant like that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So the dynamics can be, it can be, and it could be detrimental later in life because you don't have that same, the relationship is different. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you have kids who, maybe we was at home, we was cooking, but what about kids who got home and didn't have food? Didn't have food at home. Correct. So it could be a lot of dynamics to it.
Definitely a lot of layers for sure. Mm-hmm. So so this is the time where you have the detail center and the emotional center It's trying to reconnect. It's
Right.
trying to date. It's trying to take you out on the first date. It's saying, "Hello, I'm here again."
Trying to woo me.
Like, where you been? Where you been
Woo,
all my life?
woo me.
Right? And then what's happening is that with the hormones, when you add that to the aspect,
Right.
when you have declining of estrogen,
Right.
your cortisol levels, which is your stress hormone, goes
Right.
up.
Mhm.
Okay. And then when you have the stress of what's going on with the current economy and the emotional awakening, because this menopause that we're talking about is an emotional awakening. Because it's like you're awakening these senses that we weren't even told about, and that now we're talking about it. And by you now talking about it, you are unleashing everything that we have held inside that we never, I even never knew they existed, but we had to bury it in order to be where we are today.
Right. It's more so you haven't acknowledged it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're not being able to acknowledge it or having the tools to acknowledge it. It feels like a quiet storm that brewed.
Oh,
It feels like a quiet storm that brewed.
yes.
And then once it hits, then you don't even know, because it's like, oh shoot, this is my first hurricane, honey. You know, was I supposed to board up the windows? Did I put the sandbags down? You know what? I don't even know. Like if I'm prepared for it, and most likely
You're not
we
prepared.
unprepared, honey.
We're not prepared.
We unprepared.
We're not prepared.
It just hasn't been enough education on it, and women have suffered because of that.
A lot.
Because there hasn't been enough education on it, because we have not went forward to learn for ourselves, which at the end of the day, why would we? It's not something that anybody has made seem like it's important for us to know.
Correct.
But it's important.
It's very important, because that emotional awakening can be very intense. And like you said, that you suicide is highest during this age bracket. Divorce is highest in this age bracket. And it's because we're walking into a realm of the unknown, because no one has said anything about it.
Right.
Right. There's plenty of books about puberty and knowing your anatomy parts and stuff like that, and stranger dangers and all these other things. But how many books is it about menopause?
No, because for women, after puberty, we're left.
Yeah,
we're left after puberty. They drop us after they show us how to get through puberty or what that's going to be. We're kind of just dropped after that. Although men are treated throughout their life, because they get to the point where they got erectile dysfunction. Let's just talk about it, honey. Okay. They get to the point where they have erectile dysfunction and they need a black box warning on some of them drugs. But do they put it on there? No, because they're going to make sure that men can get the things that they need and what they want. And so, and for women though, we're like the redheaded stepchild over here. So after puberty, here it is, drop women. Don't worry about them. Can care less whatever else they going through. They'll pick you back up when you get pregnant, and then they'll drop you again. Okay, after that.
And after that, that's it.
And then that's it. That's done. You're not getting picked up no more. For men, they pick them up time after time after time after time. But let me tell you, them medications for ED, erectile dysfunction, some of those really need a black box warning. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah, because how many men have died from a heart attack while Mister was on top of me?
Girl, I'm done. I missed him.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, it's true though.
Come on now,
100%.
100%. Let's keep it 100. But those erectile dysfunction medications were not supposed to be for ED.
Exactly.
It was not supposed to be for
not
ED.
for ED.
It was supposed to be for pulmonary hypertension.
Exactly.
So let's call a spade a spade.
Exactly. So, like I said, that some of those need black box warning, but we're not doing that. Why? Because it's for men.
It's for men, and it's a moneymaker.
And
I can make more money selling it as an ED medication than for me to go ahead and prescribe it for pulmonary hypertension.
And they'll give men testosterone. They'll give them hormone therapy. They get hormone therapy.
They were getting hormone therapy in 1900.
Listen,
in the 1900s.
Do you hear me? They've been, like I said, they don't never drop men. They never drop them. They always keep up with them. They've been getting hormone therapy. So it makes it look like, oh, well, women just don't have hormones. Not when y'all say we the most hormonal out here. And you're trying to tell us that nothing happens when we start losing this period and this estrogen starts dropping? You mean to tell us that don't affect us any? Nothing happens. Meanwhile, when men's testosterone gets lower, they get limp. But nothing happens to us. We don't get dry down there. Nothing happens. Everything is just fine. It can't be. It doesn't make any sense at all. If men start losing testosterone and they start having issues from it, of course, we're walking around with the most hormones, if you ask me, and which means that we need replacement also. We need to be able to be treated also.
It's only fair.
It's only fair, honey. It's only fair.
It's only fair.
Give us the hormones, honey. Give them to us.
Please.
Give me the hormones.
Please.
So,
so the next segment we're going to talk about is which we already started.
We on segment what? The marriage and menopause section?
Yeah.
Listen, y'all know we had a whole episode on this. So we had the young lady on here, Nikki. What's her name? Nikki. She was on and she talked about how, you know, menopause had really, you know, dang near ruined her marriage, honey. And how she started getting hormone replacement therapy, honey, and the gates of heaven opened up. Literally, honey. She talked about how everything literally made a whole 180 turnaround after she started getting hormone replacement therapy. So it definitely can, because it affects your emotion center so heavily. What's attached to emotion, or what type of emotions is it going to affect? You know, feeling like you in love, you know, all those type of feeling, you know, emotions, it's going to affect that because the emotion center is heavily affected by the drop in these different hormones. So your marriage is going to be affected. And for men, we say, oh, it's okay. They just going through, what they call it?
Midlife crisis.
They just going through midlife crisis. But women do not get, we don't have a name for it when we go through.
We have no grace.
Right. We don't get any grace.
We have no grace whatsoever.
Like we can't be going through a time. And we're going through menopause. We are going through a time. But that's not put out there. Like, it's like, oh, give men a pass because they're just having a midlife crisis.
They're just having a moment.
No, they need hormone replacement therapy because they're going through andropause. And we're going through menopause. Everybody needs hormone replacement. That's just what it is.
So, and during this stage, when it comes to marriage and menopause, so now your emotional sensitivity is on 10. You feel everything. Your tingling sensations are tingling. Tingle. And so your sensitivity is heightened when it comes to the emotions, not just within yourself, but also within your partner. Right. So you watch, observe, you look, you take notes, and so everything that was things that weren't a problem or an issue is now an issue now. Right. Things that you probably just brushed over to the side is now an issue now because your heightened emotional sensitivity is like a panoramic view.
Yeah, it's like
everywhere you go.
It's like when you like if you chew that gum like that one more time.
You've
been with this man for 20 years, honey.
He been
chewing that gum the same
way.
But now you're at the point where if he chew that goddamn gum like that one more time, it's gonna be a fight. That's how emotionally sensitive you are. You start creating new boundaries. Why is the gum a boundary now? You don't tell the man don't even chew the gum around you no more.
Here.
It's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
I cannot with it though. We gotta get hormone replacement.
Well, hurry up. Okay, hurry up.
It's getting crazy out here. Literally, it's getting crazy, y'all. We gotta cut this out. We gotta cut it out.
You crying, you falling out, you hyperventilating, you have a panic attack, your anxiety is on 10. I never used to have anxiety.
Right. I got anxiety. It just come out of nowhere.
I could be doing my billing. Next thing you know, my stomach just a turning, and I could just be billing, and I'm like, what am I anxious about?
Right.
I'm not doing anything but my billing.
And you can't even like really put your finger on it, like. And then next thing you know, it might be gone on its own. You don't know why it came or why it left, but you can't really put your finger on it. And it's like, how do you
turn it off?
How do you turn it off? How do you manipulate the situation when you're unsure of the comings and goings?
Because you're wondering why am I anxious?
Yeah.
And so I had to like I feel like I'm in a yoga class and I'm like am I meditating right now? Like, do I have to meditate?
Do your Lamaze
to bring that down? Because if I let it fester, then I can't do nothing.
Right.
I can't do I can't even focus.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's crazy because sometimes I do my rounds and the patient's talking to me, and I'm like, and like, you hear me? I'm like, yeah. So I mean, okay, what you said again?
Exactly.
Because then I have to bring my focus back to why I'm standing in front of the patient in the first place.
And that is also the brain fog.
That's the brain fog.
Because your mind is really just somewhere else. Somewhere else.
So so that takes to the emotional clarity. So
Right.
you're not knowing why you're feeling the way you're feeling. It really could be nothing. It's
Mhm.
just you and your hormones fluctuating,
Right.
and that's just it.
Mhm.
And so, but when you have unresolved resentments, and that resentment is with your spouse, it's with your friends. This is when people be like, "I'm in a pruning season. I'm in
Girl.
the hanging fruit gotta go."
I see that on
And
Facebook every other day.
this is my new life, my new
Mhm.
chapter when I don't have a table no more. I got a circle, and now I got a table.
Mhm.
I'm good with my 3 little friends because I used to have
Mhm.
10 and all,
Yeah.
all of this. If you're in our age bracket, baby, every day,
Mhm.
all day long,
Yeah. I see
all
it
day
on
long.
Facebook all the time. How they, I had to let some people go, and you know what I'm saying. I'm revamping my life and this and that, and if family don't matter. Even some family got to go. I'm like,
Well, you gonna be alone with me. Who you
we
gonna have
getting
nobody to
rid
talk
of
to? But you and the Lord.
everybody.
Everybody
But
gotta go.
this here menopause, honey.
Because it's but the other flip side of it is that you're no longer tolerating the foolishness that you may have tolerated before. You're no longer in a space where gossiping is a thing. You're no longer in a space where someone can call you all day every day and complain about their life and they're not doing nothing about it. Why are you calling me? Because
That's true.
call me 20 times saying the same thing.
I mean, it
And
can
you
help
have
you
done it.
trim the fat.
Is to help you trim the fat at the same time because you're like, I am done, I am tired,
Right.
and I've been through this over and over again. Doing this has gotten me nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Me gossiping about my friends or my family or even your spouse
Mhm.
has not made my life any better. So me talking on the phone, talking about Susie does what for me?
Right. But then on the other side of that, like, yeah, you might be trimming the fat.
But the whole state gone.
But it's the way exactly, and it's like how you go about doing it, because they say it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
That's how you say it.
And we saying it any kind of way, honey.
Any kind
Just
of way.
don't even care.
I don't care about your feelings at all.
Not even a little bit, honey.
Not
We
even a
gonna
little bit.
look. I said what I
said. I can remember the time where I was rounding and listen, don't not take care of my patients the way you're supposed to.
Right.
It was a problem.
Mm.
A big problem. I had no problems coming up to you and saying, so what you did again?
Mm.
And what orders did I give you?
Exactly.
And tell me why you didn't follow through it. Because right now we have a problem. You know how many times I've been brought in the office, Tasha, now why you gotta talk to the nurse like that? The nurse be sitting there. I said what I said and I meant what I said. Now either am I gonna stay here around and take care of your patients because your patients were well taken care of, or you're gonna allow this nurse here to almost kill my patient because she didn't follow through on my orders? Which one?
And that's the flip side of it.
The red pill, the blue pill.
And that's the flip side of it. You know what I'm saying?
My doctor said no.
Not the strong arm.
I don't mind defending you because you smart.
Mm-hmm.
You know your stuff. You know a whole lot more than me. But you need to take a pill. Oh. Now, which one you want to take? You want to take Lexapro or Wellbutrin or Paxil? Because I'm gonna put you on something.
Listen, and he said that you're gonna get it
today. He don't
today.
Let me tell you something.
And you can't even be mad at that.
I can't be mad. Let me go through something health wise, and he know about it. I need you to go right now to cardiologist appointments at 2:00. I need you to go right now. Whatever you do, I need you to stop. I need you to go there right now.
Mm-hmm.
But not no, right now, Tasha. Get up right now.
That's so.
So
we need people in our corner.
Yes, because he said if I have to go and defend you one more time,
against these nurses,
with these nurses, one more time, you were right.
Right.
But I can't keep doing it.
Right.
So which pill you take?
Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So, and we have a deep desire of wanting to communicate better. So this is the time. Oh, I seen a reel today, honey. Let me show you. There was a news channel reel. I think my husband posted on his stories where it was a news anchor. It was 2 women and 1 man. Mm-hmm. The man sitting like this, and the 2 women just talk, and talk, and then the man tried to say something. I know we ain't done talking. We can keep talking. And we keep talking.
It's not your turn yet, sir.
It's not your turn yet. We keep talking.
We're busy.
We just let the man get 2 words in. Okay, and so we keep talking. well, this is the time where, we're deep in our feelings and in
Mhm.
our emotions. We want to get
Right.
it out. And if we don't get it out, it's just like,
It's gonna
you
come
think
back on you later.
it's
So
going
let
to
us do it.
explode.
Let us do it. Let us talk, honey.
And we're going to keep talking. And we're going to say the same thing 10 times because the first time I missed one word. I got to make sure I say it again because that word was important.
Mhm.
That
Or
word
I'll
was
feel like
important.
I didn't say it the way it needed to be said.
Mm-hmm.
Or I might, but I will self-correct and I'll think of if I said it in a way that hurt their feelings,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll go back to say it again to try to correct that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm definitely
You one of those? Are you guilty, friend?
guilty, honey.
Are you guilty?
Guilty, honey? I didn't did it. I
You're
didn't
guilty
did
as
it.
charged.
I'm guilty as charged, honey. It just is what it is. I
Mm-hmm.
do my best, but I'm trying to be mindful. At the end of the day, I'm trying to be mindful.
Listen, I did not know because I'm normally a quiet introvert person. I had to make myself an extrovert. Like if I'm in a social setting, I make myself
Oh
talk.
no, that's a Leo. Because really, we're just we're solo people. We can just be by ourselves and it's fine. But if we need to be social, that's why I tell people all the time, honey, I'm socially antisocial. If I go somewhere and I need to be social, I could be the life of the party. Everybody wants to be around. We having fun. We having a great time. We laughing, kiki. And then you might not see me for 2 years, honey, because I'm recluse. I'm in this house. So I'm socially antisocial. And I think a lot of Leos are that.
Is that what it is?
And they think we want all the attention. It's not that. We're being social because we have to be social. And then we're going to go back and not be social no more.
And then all that, but we're very straight and we're direct and we don't care. And
No,
so
we don't care. I mean, we just don't like the fluff. I told you that last time. I don't think it's that I don't care. I just don't like the fluff. Like some people. So, for example, if I call you and I want to tell you, like I called you today, and I'm like, hey, make sure you got this, got that, I got that. I don't like to put the floor. Hey, Sasha, how you doing, girl? You all right? We talking about something. Now, if I call to ask you for something, like, hey, Sasha, can I get a couple $100? I need to lead with some fluff. Do you feel me? Like, I'm not a fluffy type of person. I'm going to do my best, but normally I'm just going to call and say what I have to say. I don't feel like that should be offensive, but some people feel like, well, she just called me and she didn't even say hello or whatever. I said hello. When you say hello, I say hello. Hey, girl. Okay, so the hey, girl was the fluff. Hey, girl. Okay, so did you bring all this stuff? You got this? You got that? All right. I'll see you later. All right, bye. And when I see you, it's all love. No, that doesn't take away from anything, but some people feel like it does.
It does. And it can come off as anger or rejection.
Mm-hmm. And it's not.
And it's just a woman's brain is detoxing the emotional.
So we're doing 10 things at one time. If you think I got time to put fluff on it, okay? Because as soon as I get off the phone with you, I got to call 5 other people and tell them something.
And tell something else. Because if you don't, you're going to forget because of the brain fog.
Exactly. So I don't know. It's just how people, I feel like down here in the South is more like that. I'm from
Up north,
Chicago,
it's not like that at all.
We just going to get to the point.
We're going to say what we say. We're going to keep it moving.
Exactly. And nobody ain't mad.
Nobody's mad.
Nobody's
mad. This PC stuff down here just gets on my nerve. It makes my butt itch.
But the side with the testosterone?
Yes, because it's still healing.
Definitely.
Now, when you add the racial and the dynamic between a man and a woman in regards to the African American community, that's another layer, right? Because men, that's what I looked at the time. Because men were not taught to express their emotions.
No, they're taught to bottle them.
Yes, right.
100%.
And women, for us, we were taught to be strong, silent, and unshaken. Meaning, don't let nothing break you. Not no man, no woman.
Nobody's talking.
Nothing. Don't let nobody. You can't bend for nobody.
So nobody's talking.
Right. And so now we have this generational trauma that no one is talking about.
Nobody's talking.
That we want to bury. And believe it or not, as they say, believe it or not, men, their trauma, they may not get the sexual,
but
trauma,
they do.
But that emotional trauma, where because the man of the house is not there, and then that young boy who's 10, 11 years old now has to be the man of the household, and now they doing adult manly things because dad is not there anymore. That is severe emotional trauma.
It is. And shout out to Black fathers who in their kids' life.
Yes,
we love y'all.
It's big deal. It makes a real big difference.
Yeah.
And so now we have this generation where we're raising kids and we're teaching them the same things that we were taught. and no one is talking about it, right?
Mhm.
And now we are.
Mhm.
Now it's more accepted to be able to talk about your emotions and your feelings.
Mhm.
And slowly, men are trying to come around and understand that therapy and talking about it is just as important as
And
women
we
do it.
have to accept that, because even some men who are, you know, highly emotional intelligent, it's hard for women to accept that sometimes, because we're more used to men bottling their feelings. So then they get to talking about stuff, and then we don't even accept it because it's something that we're not used to. So it's really a learning curve, in my opinion. It's a learning curve for everyone. Like I was saying before about having different roles. Like sometimes, we're gonna have to accept that the roles are a little bit different. That, in these spaces, women have learned more things than men. Like when it comes to buying homes, running a business, like we're in higher level positions than they are. So it's almost like, I don't want to say we're the head, but we have a level of expertise that maybe men don't have. And it's okay for us to have to show them, but they have to be okay with being shown as well. So, right? Yeah.
So the survival of the relationship is based off, I mean, yes, the survival of the relationship is based off immature emotional
Mhm.
scars.
Mhm.
That's
Trauma bonding.
that you're trauma bonded
Trauma bonding.
without knowing that you're trauma bonded.
Mhm.
So your relationship, your marriage is built on trauma that neither one is recognizing and calling it a thing.
Right.
Right. So then when we get to this stage of our lives, now everything that we see the light. You wake up and now you see things differently. And you would say, wait a minute, that's a problem.
Mhm.
And then if the other person is not getting the healing or the therapy that that person needs, they're like, what are you talking about? We've been doing this for 20 years.
Right. And then sometimes you get this therapy, honey, and y'all realize y'all don't even like each other without the trauma bonding.
Because a lot of times, too, the dysfunction is what made you comfortable in the first
Exactly.
place. Because kindred spirits is connected to kindred spirits. So if my spirit, my trauma bond is connected to your trauma, then that's our love language. And then don't not get help and you healing because now that trauma bond is not there anymore. And then here comes a different level of dysfunction.
See, that's that twin flame energy, not soulmate. There's a difference. That's that twin flame energy, honey. And that's what you don't want. It feels good, but it's not long lasting.
So the economic strain, the job insecurity, the inflation, the rising cost of living, it can intensify the tension in a relationship. And so,
listen, because if these groceries go up one more time, okay, one more time.
So our emotional brain interprets the financial pressure as danger, and
And it is.
and
I'm gonna have to agree with that. It's I'm in a dangerous situation. This is danger.
so
Period.
you have the increased anxiety. So now
Yeah.
these emotions are tearing you irritable. You're
Mhm.
emotionally spiraling out of control
Mhm.
because now you're sensing danger. And so when you
And fear, that brings
and
along a
fear,
lot of fear.
and
A
so
lot.
so then you're in survival mode. You still in survival mode
Mhm.
because of the fact that everything you're sensing around you is a danger.
Mhm.
And then in order for you to protect yourself, you have to go back to that 9-year-old little girl
I was
who
just about to say
knew
that.
how to survive
Mhm. Well, she
at
did her best.
did her best
Mhm.
at 46 years old.
Mhm. And you're trying to navigate 46-year-old problems with a 9-year-old mind. How, Sway?
Oh.
How?
So when it comes to medicine, because we're going to wrap this up, when it comes to medicine and hormones, again, estrogen, everything dropped.
Everything.
The estrogen, the progesterone, and it drops, but the cortisol, our stress hormone, rises out of control, and it amplifies our emotional.
And that's why you got that belly, honey.
Yeah, they'll talk the belly.
Yeah,
now.
that's when you figure you getting menopause. You can't lose weight. Like what the f is going on? It has to do with these different level changes.
Yes, and then because your fat distribution changes as you get older.
Exactly.
So when you used to have a flat washboard, you now have a 6
Those
month
days are
old
gone.
pregnant belly.
Those days are
Yes.
gone.
Okay. All right. So when you reactivate your emotions in your brain center, it makes the memory sharper. So whereas it used to be probably foggy and blurry,
Mhm.
and now it's in 3D 4K.
And that's what I need, honey, so I can spell any. Because girl, I need to know how to spell any, honey.
Your emotions, your the flashbacks, the PTSD is now in full fledged 3D 4K vision.
Mhm.
You can, where you used to couldn't describe a detail, you now can describe the color of the shirt that you had on when you were molested.
Mm. I don't want to
I
describe that part.
was.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. And so that it makes it sharper, it triggers stronger emotions, and but it makes the healing more urgent,
Mhm.
right? So when I was having those type of downloads, visions, or whatever, where I was taken back to those places in time,
Mhm.
I was like, listen, I got to get through this because I can't keep going to this. I
Right.
can't keep crying and then I have to
Mhm.
rebuild myself in 3 or 4 days because brought me back all the way back there,
Mhm.
and I'm right here at this moment in time. So the urge of wanting to get healed, it just becomes like an emergency 911, please
Well,
resuscitate
the
me.
thing is that you're just sharper in mind. Is taking you back to, when you was in balance at the end of the day.
And at the end of the day, the fact that we are in this time and space where we are wanting to seek healing
Mhm.
is different compared to generations before us.
Well, they didn't see it. They didn't even know what that looked like.
They
And,
didn't.
and therapy wasn't, honestly, I think therapy was used before for more, I think, traumatic
Vintage,
events.
traumatic events.
Hmm
Yeah.
That's what I think. And so at the end of the day, for regular life stressors or just having PTSS is not considered a thing. But I think now we're recognizing that it's a thing for us. And then we're going out and saying, I need assistance. Yeah. Yeah. That is, it's okay. Let me just talk to somebody about it. Let me just get a different point of view. You know what I mean? That type of thing. Let me get some tools. Let me try and exercise those.
Yeah. So the the point that I want to take away out of all of this is that due to the fact that this is a generational thing
Mhm.
when it comes to the dynamics of our African American relationships, and we are recognizing it for what it is, and we're calling that thing a thing. Now, what do we do? How can we mend what has been broken for all this time?
That's a process.
And I think we're taking the first steps
Absolutely.
and to even expose it.
Mhm.
As my therapist says, sometimes you got to get naked.
I love being naked. Let me see. Okay, go ahead. That was the wrong. That was a different naked. But
What you look? Okay. Sometimes you gotta get completely naked with our
True.
emotions,
True.
right? You can't go in and sit there and just give them the good old boy or the good old girl story
Right.
because they can't help you if you're just doing surface.
Right.
Maybe you're gonna have to dig
You
6
can't
feet
decode
deep.
it.
You're gonna have to pick up that shovel
Mhm.
and dig deep in order for that therapist to help you.
Right.
And therapy cannot be your only source of refuge.
Right.
You also have to have your spiritual component. I
Mhm.
don't care what kind of spiritual element it is, honey, but the two gotta go together.
I feel like it's multiple components. Even physical activity is
Oh
another.
yes.
It's just so many components. A healthy diet is another component.
Yes.
It's just having a whole well-rounded, a
Change your
wellness.
lifestyle.
Yeah, a holistic wellness about yourself. All of that goes together.
All of it goes
So
together.
yeah, I think that definitely you need multiple components in order for it to be for you to achieve maximum effectiveness.
So when I tried therapy by itself, I was like, this ain't working. When I tried to find a church home, I said, I can't even read the Bible. I don't know what it's saying. That ain't working.
Right.
But when I have put both of them together, for whatever reason, it had just synced.
Right.
And studies have shown that when you're going through intense therapy and reawakening of your emotions, if you will, and you are seeking a higher power,
Right.
it helps calms your spirit. It
Mhm.
helps calms your spirit, man, and it releases the dopamine and serotonin
Mhm.
that is also lacking due to low estrogen and
Right.
progesterone.
You need those happy feelings.
You need those happy feelings. So it kind of keeps you centered.
Mhm.
when you add those other things and not try to make each one a separate entity.
Mm-hmm. And that's
So,
basically the word of the day, honey. We need to be centered and balanced at the end of the day.
you need to be
That's
centered,
the key takeaways is to be centered and to be brought back into balance.
brought back into balance, and give people grace.
Yeah, 100%.
And give each other grace.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, listen, I've been through a thing, but at least I was able to recognize the thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm getting help for the thing.
Right.
So give me grace so that I can heal, so I can give you a better version of myself.
Right. And give yourself a better version
And
of
give
yourself because
yourself a
you
better
deserve
version.
that.
Yes, it
So
is right. And so
your
then,
kids,
okay,
they deserve it. So I mean it's a win-win all the way around if we can get centered and be brought back into balance.
and give grace.
Everybody wins. Nobody loses in that situation.
Nobody
So
loses. Nobody loses.
so
No.
yeah. That's the key takeaways, y'all. So we want y'all to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll definitely let you guys know when we're back on. We want you to follow our page on Facebook, FemRx Files, to keep up to date with what we got going on. See ya.
And so before you say see you
Okay.
later, so if you need any contacts for therapists, I have a Rolodex full of them. Okay. So if you
Leave a comment. We'll get back with y'all.
yes, send me a DM. I will help you get connected to the therapist that I have on hand. If your PCP is not listening to what you have to say, even GYNs are still not prescribing hormone therapy, please come on in here so I can help you get to where you need to be at hormonally. I have my patients come in and they say, "Oh my gosh, I feel so much better." Oh my gosh, there was one patient who has some stuff going on down there. It's a condition, and it's painful right down there. I said, "Go put some lidocaine down there, and then let me give you some testosterone. You'll be fine." A few weeks later, she said, "Why nobody told me this? I've been living in that kind of pain for over 20 years." You see what I'm talking about?
20 years.
Yes, 20 years. 20 years she had to grit and bear because she's married and she want to give her husband the pleasure that he deserves.
Ooh.
So she would be in pain.
Trying to give him pleasure.
Trying to give him pleasure.
Well, girl, welcome back to pleasure, honey. Welcome back.
And she happy.
Welcome
she happy, he happy.
Period.
I'm all about bringing happiness.
Listen, we want everybody to be happy.
I
Balanced and centered.
Right.
That's what we want.
That is my mantra. My mantra is making sure that I do my very best to prevent broken homes. If the thing is broken, let's stitch it back together and let's figure out why it's broken in the first place. So let me give you the tools and the resources and the treatment that is right here in my hand.
Y'all heard it here, honey. All right. We're gonna see y'all next. Matter of fact, hold on. Y'all ain't see our shirt. Show these people our shirt.
How they can see?
Hold on, let me take this off. Okay. We got them in black and white, y'all. Ain't they cute? Look at that. Woo woo. DM us if y'all want a shirt. All right. We're gonna see y'all next time. Like I said, like, share, and subscribe.
All right.
Peace out.